The Wisconsin Badgers, they suffer a tough 24-10 loss here at Camp Randall Stadium to the Northwestern Wildcats. The ugliest game of the year. I mean, we thought we were going to say that last week with the Indiana loss. This one was even worse. First half, the Badgers really couldn't get much going on either side. I mean, defensively, he gave up 4 scores on 4 drives when, Northwestern was really clicking on all cylinders. They scored 3 touchdowns to begin the game, and then the last drive they stalled in the red zone, ended up kicking a field goal. Wisconsin, consequently, only scored 3 points, had opportunities, but ended up, only scoring 3 points. You got to the red zone once, you kicked the field goal there, got to the 22-yard line, missed a 40-yard field goal, and they got to the 42-yard line on 4th and 3. Badgers elect to punt because Luke Fickell said he didn't trust his defense. Let me rephrase, but essentially he said he didn't believe, he didn't want to give the defense a short field, would prefer to, try and pin them. Obviously that didn't work. Northwestern ended up scoring a touchdown, but tough game for the Badgers, really. Players clearly demoralized. Fickell called the loss embarrassing. There's going to be a lot to break down from this one, but the Badgers right now are trending down. They had bowl eligibility potentially 3 games ago. They've lost 3 straight. They're now 5-5, including, they're now negative in the conference. They're 3-4. So there's a lot to unpack out of this one. We'll see how the Badgers end up responding. Hopefully, it's a good practice, but they've got to start now turning these practices into good games on Saturdays. Offensively, though, we did see the return of Tanner Mordecai. Braylon Allen, unfortunately, could not return from the game. Tried to go in the first quarter on the first drive, did not return after that. Tanner Mordecai had said, it's just his body was not able to give it a go, really, and so that's why he didn't play. But Mordecai returned. He had 255 yards, 31 of 45 passing. But it was, a game plan that was primarily oriented around short passes. And the issue with that game plan, it's not that, it can't be successful, but it requires pristine execution because it requires more and more plays for you to go from one 20-yard line to the other 20-yard line. And that also means that things like penalties, which the Badgers, teams, dealt with a couple of times, they just automatically derail drives because if you're going short play after short play, you're not going to be able to, pick up the requisite yardage. So it was a tough game offensively for the Badgers. Really, they got a lot of soul-searching kind of to do fully for this team, both on and off the field, trying to buy back into this season with 2 games remaining. Badgers, they're going to try and pick it up with their last home game of the year, a game against Nebraska next week. You're going to try and win that, and then you've got Minnesota after that. Stay tuned for all the post-game coverage, though, on Bucky's 5th Quarter, and we've got you covered going forward.